Hello, and thank you for watching this regional update for the southern U.S. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. We'll start with the satellite picture here with lightning overlaid. We've got a cold front making its way from northwest to southeast across the continental U.S., digging into parts of the panhandles right now. A line of thunderstorms ongoing from the Great Lakes all the way into the southern plains. We can see that here when we look at the radar picture. The strongest storms located over the Red River region right now, diving in across parts of North Texas, producing some damaging wind gusts across that area. A lot of cold air coming in on the backside of this front. It won't make its way all the way across the south, but parts of the western half of the southern U.S. here, we're talking about Texas and Oklahoma, parts of Arkansas and Louisiana, you will be tapping into some of this cold air as we head through not only the weekend, but into early next week. Now here's a look at temperatures at 6 o'clock this morning. You can very obviously see the cold front, the warm and humid air out ahead of that, 60s and 70s from the Gulf Coast into the eastern Corn Belt, all the way into parts of southern Michigan, with much colder air coming in on the backside of that front as we head through the day today. So we're looking at temperature anomalies on the left over the next 5 days, and then the precipitation anomaly forecast over the next 5 days on the right. So both of these take us through Tuesday evening. And again, much of the cooler air going to be located off to the north and to the west. We'll stay pretty warm and muggy across the southeast. And as we talk about precipitation, we're going to see several rounds of showers and storms along this frontal boundary, which is kind of going to stall itself out across this region. And then we'll see some moisture coming up from the Gulf as we get into the mid and late part of the week, but drier across this region even as we head through the weekend into the first part of the coming week. So what happens here, we're looking at the upper level jet stream pattern that is driving all of this. We continue to see a big trough anchored across the central United States with upper level systems rotating around the base of that. This is the trough that's bringing the initial cold push right now, parts of and also helping to drive the showers and storms along that front from the southern plains into the Great Lakes today. This is the one that comes in on the back side of it, though, as we get into the other half of the weekend, bringing colder air into the Panhandle region, and then keeping the shower and thunderstorm threat ongoing from the panhandles into the Ohio River Valley. So this is the jet stream here as we get to sunrise on Monday morning. And you see this big trough across the southwest, and then very strong jet stream winds racing across the middle part of the country. This is what helps keep showers and storms ongoing from this region, from the panhandles into the Ohio River Valley, and that's also what's going to help eventually drag that very cold air south across the Rockies into the southern plains. So as we look at the hazards map on the left from the National Weather Service this morning, and then we've got the day one severe weather outlook on the right, we'll start first on the left where we have freeze warnings and freeze watches in effect across the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles, and then across surrounding portions of the central plains. Out ahead of that cold front, where we're talking about a warm and muggy air mass, we've got a slight risk for strong storms across parts of the Great Lakes and the eastern Corn Belt, with a marginal risk that dips down into parts of across parts of Arkansas and northern Mississippi. We'll stop talking about the fire weather risk here because that's not quite the player here in the southern U.S. They are ongoing across parts of northern Colorado. We continue to see ongoing fires in the Loveland or west of the Loveland area. You're seeing dense smoke in the Loveland area where we have our main Nutrien Ag Solutions office located. A lot of my colleagues have been living underneath the smoke plume over the last 5 to 10 days. Now, as the cold front sweeps through and we get that second push of cooler air, we'll drop some snow on the Rockies, and that'll put an end to the fire weather risk, at least for now. But here's the extent of the cold front as we get started on Friday morning. From the Great Lakes down into the Red River, clearing the Panhandle, so a colder start to the day. We'll watch that frontal boundaries progression as we head through the day today. This is 7 p.m. on this afternoon, or this evening now. As the sun goes down, that front should be clearing parts of East Texas, should clear the northwest half of Arkansas. Now it's going to start to stall out as we get into Saturday. So this is Saturday morning. The front's cleared northern Mississippi, or much cooler in that area, cooler across northern Louisiana, and then we get stuck. This is when the front starts to stall out and lift back to the north. So as we wake up on Saturday, get our day started on Saturday, southeast of this line here across much of Mississippi, the southern half of Mississippi, much of Alabama, Georgia, the Carolinas, Florida, you're going to stay warm and humid, and you'll stay that way as we head all the way through the weekend because this front won't move anymore as we head into Saturday. Instead, it starts lifting on Sunday back as a warm front. Then we see that second push of cooler air. So now we're seeing the even colder, bitterly cold air coming in across the Rockies, diving into the panhandles. This is as we get into Monday afternoon now. This is as far out as the NAM model is going to take us. So Monday afternoon, you see that cold front making its way in once again across Arkansas and central and northern Texas. So here's the high-resolution NAM model, the precipitation forecast. I'll hit play on that, and then we'll time it out. We'll just look for isolated showers and storms along that frontal boundary as we head through the day today. But as that front washes out, stalls out, and loses its upper-level support as the main upper-level trough continues to move off to the north and to the west, or to the north and to the east, away from the region, and we're going to lose the organization to the showers and storms. So starting off on Friday, strong storms across North Texas, showers and storms across Oklahoma, moving into Arkansas as we get into the mid-afternoon hours, and then potentially pushing into parts of northern Louisiana as we get into Friday evening. We could see broken line of showers and storms try to make its way into Mississippi and Alabama as we get into the early morning hours on Saturday, but this is when things really wash out. We'll be talking about a stray shower or storm Saturday afternoon and evening across parts of Alabama, getting into Georgia and Kentucky and Tennessee. But by and large, the precipitation should be coming to an end at that point. Now let's take a look at the European model. This will help us take it just a little bit further out into early next week. Again, quickly going through the day today, watching for those showers and storms to really begin to fade as we head through the overnight into the day on Saturday. There is a chance for a couple of showers as we get into Saturday afternoon across parts of the Florida Panhandle, Alabama, and Georgia into the Carolinas. This will take us into Sunday afternoon now. Much of the precipitation now going to be located back behind our next front that's making its way in. Oklahoma, you could see some cold showers on Sunday night. Rain begins to expand across Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas as we head into the day on Monday. Snow on the backside, some flurries possible across the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles as we get into Monday afternoon, Monday evening, and Tuesday night. Then it's possible we could see some freezing rain on the backside of this from the Texas Panhandle into western and central Oklahoma Monday and Tuesday. So we'll have to watch this closely, the potential for an ice storm or at least some freezing rain accumulation across this region. So a wintry start to the coming week across parts of Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle. We'll take this a bit further then into Tuesday evening. The cutoff low is starting to make its way across the southern plains now, seeing another round of rain organize across Oklahoma and Texas as we get into Wednesday. This will then start to push across the remainder of the south as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You're also now seeing this next wave of tropical moisture make its way northward into the Gulf, so showers and storms become much more widespread across the southern U.S. as we get into the back half of next week. So total precipitation between now and just 7 p.m. on Tuesday. That's how far both of these maps go. We're looking at the ensemble forecast for total liquid precipitation on the left, and then the snowfall forecast on the right. And again, you can see several rounds of heavy rain along that frontal boundary from the Red River into the eastern Corn Belt. Here's a little tongue of moisture coming up from the Gulf as we get into midweek. And then here is the snowfall forecast. We're looking at the probability of picking up 3 inches or more of snow between now and Tuesday at 7 p.m. And we can see that across parts of New Mexico, into the Rockies, and then east into the upper Mississippi Valley. We'll finish with a look at those temperatures. This will help you kind of gauge the cold front and how close it will make it into your region, or when it will make it into your region if it is going to do so. Your high temperatures today in the 40s and 50s across the panhandles, all the way into the mid-80s across much of the rest of the south. The cold front does advance a little bit further overnight. Here are your highs on Saturday. We then lift it back to the north a little bit on Sunday. But the next surge of bitterly cold air is coming in across the Rockies into the northern plains, central plains, and eventually the southern plains as we get into Sunday overnight. Your Monday high temperatures in the mid-20s across the Texas and Oklahoma panhandle, mid-30s in the Oklahoma City area, 30s all the way down into parts of North Texas, 70s and 80s across the rest of the southeast. Tuesday, the front makes its way a little bit further off to the east. And then I want to show you a couple of the overnight lows here on some of our coldest nights. Tonight into tomorrow morning, we're expecting freezing temperatures all the way into the Texas and Oklahoma panhandle. Those temps will be in the mid to upper 20s. And then Sunday night into Monday morning, with that second push of cold air, we'll be talking about temperatures close to 20 in the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles. But check it out, single digits and sub-freezing temperatures as you make your way back into the central and northern plains. Look at those overnight lows, though, across the rest of the south, continuing to be very warm and muggy. So essentially, when we talk about temperatures here over the next 5 days or so, really through the weekend into early next week. We're going to be talking about a lot of cold air intruding on the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles, at times the entire states of Texas and Oklahoma, but really the rest of the South, from Arkansas and Louisiana, you'll flirt with that cooler air, but then as we talk about Mississippi, Alabama, eastward to the Carolinas, and then down to Florida, going to be spending a lot of the next 5 days warmer than average with southerly flow out in advance of these approaching cold fronts. I hope you have a great Friday and wonderful weekend. We'll talk to you again on Monday morning.